Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our RCG core session recordings. So last time in core session 4, we talked about some general life hacks and some living advice while you're at the UW. And so we come now to core session number 5, which is our final core session. As we get to this end, I hope that you found these core sessions useful. So, core session 5, we'll be talking about entering the US and the UW, as well as some important tasks that you'll need to finish. Talk about moving in, some general information. Talk about getting set up. So the 3 main things you'll need: phone plans, bank accounts, and immunization. And we'll talk about getting involved. So, without any further ado, entering the US. So this is our document checklist for all of you. We make sure you bring all of these intact and ready to the airport. So you need your Form I-20 if you're an F1 student, or your DS 2019 if you're an exchange student on J1. You'll need a valid passport. You'll need a valid visa. You'll need your SEVIS I-901 fee receipt. You'll need some supporting financial documents, whichever ones you used before. You'll also, it's optional, but it's nice to bring your current class schedule, helps us sort of proof of enrollment. And lastly, the US Customs Declaration Form. It's just a form declaring the items that you are bringing into the United States. It should be provided to you either on the flight in or at the customs desk. So these are your document checklists. Once you're through and once you're out of the airport, you come to your first challenge, which is how do you get to campus from the airport? So you have 3 options to reach the UW. You can either take the Link Light Rail. It's $3 for people who are aged 19 to 64, but it's free if you're under 19. The Link Light Rail will have it stop at SeaTac/airport, which should be very close to where you get off. And then you will ride it all the way up to the U District station. There is a very important catch. There is a station called the University of Washington and the U District stop. Do not get off at University of Washington. It is at the bottom of the hill, and the entire UW campus is on this big hill. And so you'll have to go from the bottom of the hill all the way up to the very top. Instead, get off at the U District stop. It'll be much easier, and it's much closer to both North and West campus. Option 2, you can consider taking an Uber or a Lyft or maybe a taxi. There are a few cabs available for hire at the airport. It'll be about $80 to $100, and you can book it fairly easily with the free and fast Wi-Fi at the airport. This is recommended if you come at an odd hour, like way too early in the morning, like 5 a.m., or if you're arriving fairly late, like 7 or 8 p.m. or 10 p.m., and you're not very comfortable. Alternatively, you can consider the door-to-door shuttle service. We'd recommend that you check it out on the Seattle Airport website to learn more about their schedules and how to get a seat. So, once you get to campus, let's say you got off at a U District stop, well, what do you do now? For starters, here's a nice checklist to help you figure out what you should be doing. Now, you'll need to move into your housing. Now, if you're living on campus, you'll go to either Lander Hall if you're living on West Campus or in 12-month housing, or Oliver Hall if you're living on North Campus. There, you'll be able to check in and get your keys. You might need to go pick up your Husky card first at the Husky card office if you don't have it yet. If for those of you who arrive in the United States beforehand, and there's like a nice window of time, you can get your Husky card shipped to wherever your address is in the US. Next, you'll have to attend A&O Part 3, the final part of your advising and orientation. If you will miss an A&O Part 3, and you know this, please email nstp@uw.edu to schedule a makeup. It is required for you to finish these. Now, the last and most important step, you'll need to complete your ISS immigration check-in by September 30th. You should complete this as soon as you have a local US address and a phone number. So, some other important information regarding the immigration check-in. It can be completed through the My ISSS portal, and it's due by the first day of classes. Finish this before September 30th. Now, you can learn more about the steps through the ISS website, but in general, the steps are: 1, you download your I-94. This will be issued to you automatically once you enter the US through a legal port of entry, typically the airport. Then you'll update your information on MyUW, specifically your local address and your phone number. Then you submit your immigration check-in. You'll be all set. Right. So let's talk about moving in and getting your Husky card. And before I talk about that, I think it'll be helpful for us to see on Google Maps what this looks like. So now we're back on the map. Here. This is the U District stop, generally in this area. And so what you'll find is that if you're living on West Campus, you just have to go south and you will find yourself at a few blocks down and you'll get to Lander Hall. This is where your move-in site is if you're living on West Campus or in 12-month housing. Alternatively, from the U District, if you just go straight east, you will end up at Hutchinson Hall. Behind Hutchinson Hall is Oliver Hall, where you can find the Oliver desk to check in. If you haven't picked up your Husky card yet, you just go south from the U District stop here, all the way down, a little bit east, and you'll find Schmitz Hall. This is where we at our Circle office is based and where I'm recording the session right now. But that's not where you'll stop. You'll take the bridge across, keep going until you reach the Husky card office. That's where you can pick it up. Keep in mind, there might be a bit of a long line, especially around move-in, as everyone's trying to get their Husky card. So plan ahead for that. Now, moving in. For those living in 9-month housing, your move-in dates are between the 22nd to the 25th of September. So keep an eye out for an email from HFS that'll give you your move-in appointment. So you should follow the move-in instructions by HFS. We went over it quickly during course session 4, but just as a callback, it's a nice website. You can look for HFS 9-month move-in, and all the steps and restricted items are listed out. You should also check out our packing guide on Circle's new student page, where we talk about what you should pack, what you should bring. And if you plan to arrive before September 22nd, there is early arrival. Now, we're getting very close. At the time of recording, we're getting pretty close. We're still half a month away from the deadline, but you must apply by September 1st to get early arrival, which lets you move in earlier. But there are added costs. It'll be a little more expensive. Lastly, if you change your mind about 9-month housing, you have until the 15th of September to cancel your housing appointment. You will still need to pay a fee, but you will not have to pay for the full school year. Similarly, for 12-month housing, your move-in date is the 14th of September, and you can pick up your keys at Lander Desk. That's the West Campus Hall. Like 9-month housing, HFS has a 12-month housing move-in guide. Very similar. They talk about the check-in process and what you can bring or what you shouldn't bring. And our packing guide still applies. And if you change your month about 12-month housing, you have until the 13th of September. So it's earlier deadline. Keep that in mind. Now, if you are arriving outside of business hours, by that we mean if you're going to reach campus before 8 a.m. or after 5 p.m., you should either email hfsinfo@uw.edu ahead of time so they know to prepare for you and get some accommodation or plan set up for you. Or when you arrive, you should call the RA on duty at the number displayed here. So as you plan your trip, note that some bulkier items are better bought in Seattle. So like bed sheets, pillows, or maybe shelves. Don't trouble yourself by having to bring it over from around the world. Rather, wait until you can have packages shipped online to your dorm or apartment, or maybe you can purchase them online once you get to Seattle. For furniture and larger items, Circle is hosting an IKEA trip, and you can learn more about this very shortly. So students living on campus, you can have packages like the bed sheets we recommended delivered to your dorm up to 7 days before your move-in date. You'll be notified of any packages that arrive through your UW email or your text. And then you can pick up your packages at either Oliver Hall or Lander Hall, depending on whether you live on North Campus for Oliver or West Campus or 12-month housing for Lander Hall. Now, if you have any questions about housing, dining, or these deliveries, email hfsinfo@uw.edu. Next, let's talk about getting set up. So, a lot of things you need when you get into a new country. Let's start with phone plans. You need a US number for your ISS immigration check-in, and additionally, it's generally necessary for communications, access to the internet, navigation, and setting up for other accounts like internet or banking. So, some popular phone carriers in the US are AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, our own Husky Mobile, and my personal use carrier, Mint Mobile. So it'll be up to you to decide which carrier is the best fit for you. Now, when it comes to phone plans, there are two main types of plans. There's what we call prepaid plans, where you pay for the whole plan up front, and it's generally cheaper. And you can also consider family plans. These are kind of like a cheap bulk option. You can sign up like a certain number of phones for a phone plan. And so we recommend maybe making a family plan with your roommates or your friends. This isn't all the types of phone plans, but these are the most commonly used phone plans among international students. Now, some good questions to ask the carrier or the store when you get set up are, well, one, can you pause your payments if you're returning home for the holidays? And how long can you pause them? If you're going home for a few months in the summer, you might not want to be paying for a phone line or a phone subscription throughout that time. And you should also ask if you can keep the same phone number should you change carriers. It's not too uncommon for people to change their carriers from one to another, and it's not too uncommon for people to be moving and changing their phones while they're in the US. So, good questions to ask the carrier. Next is a bank account. Now, a US bank account is when you open it up as an international student, typically you'll open two types of accounts. The first is a checking account. There's no interest generated on this account, but it's easier to spend money on it. It's not as restricted. And the second type is a saving account, one which you can accrue and earn interest. And it's easier to save in it and keep a lot of money in the saving account. And so with enough funds and savings, you can also apply for a credit card. And I think it's best that you speak with a bank representative to understand the best fit for your situation. And popular banks are US Bank, and that's our on-campus bank. You can get set up right on campus. It's very easy, very fast, and they're lovely people there. Bank of America, again, wonderful people. They're right on the Ave, I believe. Chase and Wells Fargo are also close to campus, so many options for you to choose from. You can either do your research online, or when you arrive in the US, you can meet with some representatives and get a better understanding for which bank you choose. Now, some things you'll need to set up a bank account. You'll need your valid passport as a form of identification. You'll need your Form I-20 and a local US address. You'll need a US phone number and some money for the minimum opening deposit. It's kind of like you need at least this much to start banking with this bank. It varies depending on the bank and the type of account you're trying to open. So these are good questions to bring to a bank representative or online to their website. Once you are set up, you'll receive either a debit card or both a debit and a credit card, and you'll gain access to helpful features like wiring, which is sending money internationally or to different bank accounts directly, or instant transfer, commonly called Zelle. I think Zelle is the most common instant money transfer service here. So I know it's a lot of information, but generally the steps are you get your phone number set up and then you get your bank set up. While we're talking about getting your bank account set up, tuition. So your tuition bill can be found in your MyUW portal under accounts, while your housing and dining bill is found in your HFS portal. The deadline for both is always the third Friday of every quarter. So this will be October 16th for this upcoming quarter. And so some ways that you can pay your tuition are you can either wire the money from a foreign country into your US bank account and then pay it, or you can use Flywire, a service, to directly pay it from a foreign bank account. If you have any questions about payments, you should reach out to Student Fiscal Services at sfshelp.uw.edu. Or you can visit their office in person. They're also in Schmitz Hall on the first floor, room 129. For housing and dining fees, you should direct any and all questions to hfsinfo@uw.edu. And you can visit their student service desk at either Lander or Oliver Hall. Another item that you will be getting set up as you arrive in the US is your insurance card, your health insurance. So after you arrive and you update your local address, your iShip International Student Health Insurance Plan offered by LifeWise will send a health insurance card that looks as depicted to your local address. Then you'll receive an email with instructions to set up your LifeWise account. You're automatically enrolled for every quarter you pay tuition. And you can either opt for a quarterly coverage, which will be every quarter you pay tuition, or annual coverage, where you'll pay once to cover for the full year. And if you're staying in the US over the summer, we recommend annual coverage just to be safe. If you want to learn more about health insurance and all of the benefits that your student health insurance plan has, we recommend checking out our featured session 4 slides or the featured session 4 recording. Next up, immunization. There are 2 main immunization requirements you need to fulfill at the UW. Your measles and mumps vaccine and your meningitis ACWY. You are required to upload your proof of immunization to the UW through the MedProctor portal by October 22nd, or you'll get a registration hold. A registration hold, well, you can learn more about what that is through our core session number 3, I believe. But generally, the short of it is that it is a blocker that will stop you from signing up for classes next quarter. So get that set up. You still need vaccines by the time you reach the US. You can get them through vaccine clinics hosted by the Husky Health Center. There will also be a vaccine clinic hosted by Circle, and we'll talk about it in a moment. Now we've given you a lot of big information. We've talked about getting into the US, we've talked about getting to the UW, we've talked about moving in and getting set up. It's a lot of information. I recommend you take your time going through the slides and maybe replaying this recording a few times just to fully absorb everything. But now let's talk about something a little bit more fun, getting involved. So every year, the UW hosts Dog Days, which is basically 10 days of events to welcome new students. We talked about this a bit in course session number 4, but here are some events that we'd like to highlight. These are very fun. This is not the end of the list, but we recommend checking out the Mariners. They're a baseball team in Seattle. Baseball is a great sport to watch at least once so you can experience it. The Late Night Carnival, it's a very fun, very festive event. And of course, the Husky Kickoff, where you get to make and be part of the famous Human W picture. So yes, I think a fun part is always after the picture, after they upload it, you get to like look through and show your parents and say, yeah, I was part of the W in that little corner there. A great event during Dog Days is the Student Activities Fair. A great way to get involved throughout your years at the UW are RSOs, or Registered Student Organizations, which are like clubs. The Student Activities Fair, happening on the 30th of September from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., will have many RSOs setting up tents as pictured there. And you can just meet them, talk to them, learn more about their RSO and how you can join. Another way to get involved, IWP. It is our international welcome programs hosted by Circle, where from the 21st September to the 9th of October, we have a number of ways of getting you set up, not only in terms of resources like bank accounts and phone numbers, but also set up for success and just to get you ready for the transition. Now, you can learn more about IWP on our IWP Fall 2026 website, where we have all of our programs detailed. But our star event for a lot of students is the Post-Arrival Resource Fair. So like the name entails, on the 24th of September, it'll the post-arrival resource fair happening in the hub, the Husky Union Building's North Ballroom. It's a one-stop shop for all new students. You'll get access to partners like US Bank, Bank of America, Husky Mobile, get your bank account, your phone number all set up at once. We'll have many campus offices like HFS, Study Abroad, ISS, Say Campus, and even more. You can get your vaccination finished because the Husky Health Center's vaccine clinic will set up. And of course, we have a special visit from our mascot, Dubs, and you'll have a chance to take a photo with him. So, highly recommend coming to the post-arrival resource fair. Even if you had to come to only one IWP event, and I really hope that you come to more than one, I would say it should be the post-arrival resource fair. Of course, we have other featured IWP events like the Husky football game and tailgate party on the 26th of September. You'll learn about American football and enjoy a pre-game tailgate party. We'll have hot dogs, some juice, we might have some soda, and we'll also have a chance to win some prizes. This will all happen at the Waterfront Activities Center Great Room. We'll be looking out at the lake as we learn about football and have a little party. And then we'll head out together to the stadium to watch the game. On the 28th of October, we'll have Undergraduate Day, where we welcome our undergraduate students with a full day of activities and some guest speakers, some student panelists. A great place to get set up and get started as an undergraduate. And of course, I've said this multiple times, both in this and the last course session, but our IKEA shopping trip on the 29th of September. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. You'll have to sign up. Registration opens soon. But yeah, we'll not only take you there and help you buy everything, but we'll also bring your stuff back. So with that, we're at the end of our last course session. So we've talked about getting to the UW and moving in, talked about immigration check-in, the most important thing to complete before classes start. We also talked about getting set up, talked about paying your fees and how to get involved. And of course, our international welcome programs, which is the best resource for all of these things. We highly recommend you go to as many IWP events as you can. So I'd like to say thank you very much for attending all of our course sessions so far. Before we close off, some final tips from myself personally. This is going to be the first time in your life that you are a college student. I want you to remember that whenever you feel like you're making a mistake or you feel like you're just not doing a very good job of it, this is like the first time you're learning how to walk or the first time you're learning another language. This is going to be a first time for you, and you're going to have this experience, a process. You're going to have times where you don't do so well. You'll have times where you do very well. But what I want you to understand is that, well, mistakes are not what's going to define your experience. So seize this opportunity. Put yourself out there. Even if you fail, even if you mess up, because you're going to learn so much. And honestly, no one should be faulting you greatly for it because, hey, you can say, hey, yep, I messed up. That was a mistake. But, well, this is the first time I'm a college student. I'm going to learn. And I think that is the way to have the best Husky experience possible. So with that, best of luck with your college journey. I really hope to, well, say hi to some of you on campus and, well, be boundless and take care.